So my name is Longinus. I'm a centurion in the Roman army. It means I've got command of 100 men. I'm a soldier's soldier, a man's man. I've seen plenty of action, and I'm based in Jerusalem. My cohort have been based here just for 7 days. You see, my bosses, they think a bit of trouble is going to be kicking off in Jerusalem about now. The Jewish people and the Romans, they've always clashed a little bit. You see, the Jewish people, they're committed to worshipping their God, the God of the scriptures, their scriptures. And, well, our Caesar, well, let's be honest, he only wants people to worship him, doesn't he? And so there's always this bit of friction. And then right now we've just had Passover. And it always boils up a little bit over Passover. I'm sure you can imagine it's a Jewish religious festival. Everyone gets a little bit too keen, too big for their boots, I guess you think. And this year particularly, there's this guy Jesus of Nazareth. Have you heard of him? Maybe, I don't know. But he's been making waves for himself, this Jesus of Nazareth. And he's got himself a little bit of a following. And so my bosses think, maybe it's time to send me and my crew in for a bit of a peacekeeping mission over Passover. And when we get there, it's clear we're all right to do so. I mean, it's bubbling up nicely. It's getting quite feisty out in Jerusalem this Passover. But the strange thing is, this Jesus, he's got followers all over. But the people who don't like him, it's his own religious leaders. We can't quite figure that out. And so they put him on trial. They don't want him. He's been making claims about himself, saying he's the Son of God. And his religious leaders don't like that. And to be honest, I go in curious. I'm not a religious man, but one of my mates, another centurion, he says that this Jesus fellow actually healed one of his servants. He's a curious guy. But the religious leaders, they don't really like him. And so they put him on trial. They put him before our Pilate, the guy who's in charge, who makes decisions. And what's strange is the religious leaders want him dead, but Pilate, he doesn't seem to want him dead at all. There's something strange about this Jesus guy. But it's Passover. And let's be honest, it's best to appease the Jewish people at Passover, isn't it? And so Jesus is crucified. And of course, I'm a centurion, got the gear, I'm the man for the job. I've seen dozens, hundreds of crucifixions. I don't like them. They're a bit messy, but let's be honest, you just get used to it. It's a job, isn't it? And so they send Jesus off to be crucified, but before we do that, we give him a bit of a kick in. And the crowd's watching, and they're loving this bit. And so we play up to the crowd a bit. We get the whips with the spiky bits on the end. We get the big clubs, and we play to the crowd a little bit. And so by the time that we put the cross on him and he's walking up to the hill, well, he's a bit worse for wear. And so he's walking slowly. And then as he walks up this hill, the strangest thing happened. He looks at me. And I've done loads of crucifixions, and mostly when the prisoners look at me, they're cursing. But this guy, when he looks at me, it's like he sees through me. It's like his eyes can see right into my heart. It's like he can see everything I've done, thought, said. It's unnerving. I don't like him much at all, but he gets to the top of the hill, and to be honest, when they get to the top of the hill, that's where the fun starts, really, because as soon as you untie them to put them on the cross, that's where they make a runner for it. So you've got to be on your toes a little bit with these guys. But not Jesus. No, he didn't try and run at all. He just lay down there ready. And I thought that was strange, because this Jesus guy, he's supposed to be the leader of a religious rebellion, the leader of a religious movement. I thought this might be his moment to make a big speech and to ham things up a little bit, but no. He just gets ready. And he lies down on the cross. Now, of course, I'm the one who has to pop the nails in his wrists and in his feet, and this is the time where you get called every name under the sun. I mean, I've been called things that would make you guys blush, I'm sure. But not Jesus. Yeah, he makes a pretty noise, but he never curses. And again, he rolls his head towards me, and he looks at me. And I like to think I'm a bit of a hard man, but I could not keep his look. I have to go elsewhere. I get someone else to sort out everything top end. I go to the bottom end. I just can't do it. And then we get him up on the cross, and then it's business as usual. Scene one, seen them all. And he's there, and he's gasping for breath with the two criminals on either side of him. Just another day at the office. And then he turns to one of these other criminals, a nasty bloke. And he turns to him and says, "Today, you'll be with me in paradise." I just think that's a mental thing to say. Come on. I mean, here's a guy, he's about to die with another no good guy standing next to him, being crucified next to him, also about to die. He turns to him and said, "Today you'll be with me in paradise." What a ridiculous thing to say. They should be cursing each other. They should be cursing me. But as I hear him say it, I know in an instant, that's what I want. I don't want this violence anymore. I don't want to be doing the orders of someone that I don't know why they're asking me to do it. I don't want this death, this murder. I don't want it anymore. I want paradise. And if he can take me there, that's what I want. And then the darkness comes. On a summer's day, how the storm comes over and the wind and the rain and the thunder and the lightning, and it gets so dark, and then a few minutes later it rolls off. It was like that, except it never rolled off. It just got darker and darker and colder and colder. It was a weird darkness, middle of the day. And everyone, I can tell you, is pretty scared right now. They're crying out to their God. They don't know what's going on. And to be honest, I'm a hard man. I've got to be there. I've got to be in control. But I'm scared. Inside, I'm crying out to my God, what is going on? If I didn't know better, I'd say that this man was the Son of God and that God was angry at what was going on. And the darkness rolled on. And then he cries out. And no one really understands what he cries out. It's in his own dialect. People are arguing. Is he calling for a prophet? Is he cursing God for abandoning him? What's going on? But I get my ladder up. I climb up and I offer him the spiked vinegar. The good stuff that offers a bit of pain relief for him. And again he looks at me. But this time it's different. It's like he sees everything I'm doing. And yet there's forgiveness in his eyes. I can't explain it. It's like he knows that we're caught up in something that's bigger, something bigger going on here. And even though he knows what I've done, it's like he wants to forgive me. And then a few minutes later he dies. And that in itself is pretty weird, because it could take a couple of days for a man to die up there on the cross. It's a slow death by asphyxiation. But for him, it was 3 hours. 3 hours of darkness. I've never seen anyone die like this man. And then as soon as he dies, what happens? The sun comes out. And it's warm. And it's light. And I've been thinking a lot about that day. I've been thinking a lot about what happened and how quickly he died. And I can't help but think it wasn't actually the cross that killed him. I can't help but think he was experiencing something on that cross that was too deep, too painful for words. And as the light and the love and the sun and the warmth came out, I can't help but feel that it echoed something in my own heart. That actually, I suddenly realized this man, maybe he was the Son of God. Maybe he was who he said he was. Maybe he could offer me the forgiveness that I need. And so I'm heading back to Rome soon. And I've made a decision that when I get there, I'm going to tell everyone I meet about this crucified Jesus, this Son of God, who can offer forgiveness for me and for all of them. So when I'm off to Rome, let's have it.